So I just went to meet an entrepreneur who is doing 100 grand a day, pounds, and I got some really, really interesting insights from it. And guys, if you want to network, come to Dubai. Dubai is insane for networking. And it's not even just the people that you get coming here, because the people that you get coming here are really, they're successful. But it's not even just that. It's the fact that they're much more open to meeting you as well. You say you're in Dubai, want to catch up about a specific topic over a coffee or something like that. People they'll often take the time out to actually come and say hello and whatnot. So really, 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 really like Dubai for that reason, amongst other things, convenience, tax, all that sort of stuff. And when I met this entrepreneur today, we spoke about loads of things. We're actually in the same market. And they obviously have years and years of experience going back into actually providing services, but now in the lead generation game. And, there's so many different things that you can learn from these people. And it just sort of highlights the impact of surrounding yourself with people who are in the places that you want to be. Just taking the time out of your day to go and meet people who are in the same sort of niche as you, or have features about them which you want to emulate. Go there, speak to them, and try and learn from them. Reach out to mentors, reach out to people who are above you to learn from their experience. And it's even more valuable when they're in the same exact sphere as you, so you can learn more specific, in-depth knowledge. We've recently invested in a mentor who's in the same space. Already, can see the value in the money that we've spent, just in small tracking sheets and stuff like that, which are going to save so much more time, being able to dial down the numbers, all that sort of stuff. But it's more about the little things that people say that really, really changes things. It's like you hear one sentence or one throwaway comment and it makes you think, and it's like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. It's like it takes you down a spiral of thoughts which leads you to your next big success. And this has happened all throughout the entrepreneurial journey that we've had. We would speak to a competitor, they would pitch us something, and it's like, oh, I never realized that you could charge like that. And that just, something like that spiked our revenue massively. Sentences such as sales velocity, which I went on about before, which massively changed our mindset. And it's just little throwaway comments which you're looking for. You pay all this money for mentorship, all that sort of stuff, but it's usually just little throwaway comments which are it's the one thing that you're looking for to get you to the next phase. It's so interesting. And even down to some of the things he was saying was to do with making sure that you're tracking every single number, because numbers don't lie. At the end of the day, if you just look at the numbers, everything's going to start to make sense to you. When you were doing well, what were the numbers then? Yeah. If you're fortunate enough to track your numbers and proactive enough to track your numbers when things were going well, and things aren't going well now, just look at the numbers. And the more numbers you track, the better your ability to understand what the specific bottleneck is. What else did we talk about? Spoke about crypto, staking crypto, all that sort of stuff. I didn't realize that you could stake crypto and make such a solid return. HMOs, property in the UK, property in Dubai. So many opportunities, not just in creating wealth, but preserving and multiplying it. I think something interesting that Tai Lopez says is about the different levels of wealth and accumulating wealth. And it's at the bottom it's people, so time, labor, that sort of thing. But above that it's finance, right? Being able to control large sums of money and multiply the money. Because at the end of the day, you get all the labor and all that sort of stuff, which are producing the money and all that sort of stuff. But it's like, that's time intensive, that's capital intensive, it's draining. Whereas if you can just move money around, then you're going to make a lot more. That's why people in finance just make all the money, right? But yeah, it's extremely interesting. But obviously, with the finance aspect, you need to get the finance first, or you need to get someone to trust you with the finance, which comes from being able to manage the finance. So it all, essentially, you need to go through the stages of accumulating money, moving money around, and then being able to be trusted with other people's money to move money around. You know, that's sort of the phases. I feel like a lot of people, like Grant Cardone, they start off, in sales themselves, manage sales teams, so managing people. Then they get into finance, real estate, which is like purchasing assets with large sums of money and moving money around, selling large assets and getting loads of money for it. It's a lot easier than managing thousands and thousands of people, just buying and selling assets, with money. But yeah, lots of insights today. Networking's key. Seeking out mentors is key. Guys, if you have LinkedIn connections to be made this week, reach out to some people that you look up to, who you want to emulate. They might entertain your conversation. This person that I met up with today, I actually got. I was listening to Tai Lopez 67 Steps, and Tai Lopez said, seek out some mentors, reach out to them. And I did just that. I literally messaged, I did some LinkedIn DMs to people in my market who I wanted to speak to, DMs to people that I looked up to in the market. Managed to find this guy's number through LinkedIn, called him on WhatsApp, and he entertained the conversation. And then 3 months later, we're now in Dubai meeting up, and we're getting loads of insights, and we're developing that relationship. There's so much. You're only one message away from a completely different outcome, right? Some insights I might have had today that changed my perspective might lead me on a completely different path that maybe would have taken me an extra 6 months had I not have reached out to him 3 months ago, and that whole timeline play out.